front again now. He swings up. All the pace is steadied off again. Josh Nixon on the lead there now, just having a bit of a look around to see what's happening. Pace has died off again, but I'm sure someone will have a bit of a hit out here. They're coming in to get the call of 4 to go. So Blitchfeld's still on the front there now.
Come on, Nico! Woo!
Rhiannon Lee decides that she's going to come up next to him to see what's going to happen here. Blitchfeld sitting at the back, just behind that rider. So that's Josh Nixon, Blitchfield working there together. Blitchfield having a bit of another bit of a hit out here. Comes in close time to get the bell. So got Blitchfield leads out. Liliana McLennan right on the wheel. She takes the lead. Emma Stevens is coming around the outside. Coming up along our left rider. There goes around there now. That could be a little bit of a worry. So we'll come around now, and that will be Emma Stevens will take that out from Liliana McLennan, and Rhiannon Lee coming in through 3rd place. Next event on our program is also a 12-lap scratch race. See the riders down there preparing to come up onto the track now. Next event now, getting ready to come on. Next event now, getting ready to come in underway. Keith Ham over there giving them instructions. The rider's now rolling around. I'll come around this side now, and the starter will make the decision whether or not to start the event. They need the riders to be all bunched up, which they're not, so see what happens. There goes the whistle, which means the chief was happy with this. The starter was happy with that. First event up, so the rider was a little bit sedate. I'll just test each other out. Coming through, leading them through that time. Adam Clark, he does his turn, swings up to the top. We've got, this will be interesting, we've got Ryan Elliott and Byron Davis in there. So they'll want to play a game on their own. So that's Ryan Elliott then swinging up then. Byron Davis was on his wheel. He'll come around and do his turn. So we've got Christopher Mullins out in there as well. Adam Clark. So you've got a few sprinters and a few enduro riders. Be interesting to see what they make of that. This is all right, I can see that. Come around this time now to get the call of 8 to go. Alicia McCaig swings up and hands it over to Mitchell Louis. Doesn't spend long on the front, quick to get out of there. So but there's a short lapse, not real good for the enduro riders. Lolly Yang does a very, very short turn at the front. Gets up out of the way. Saving the legs for the sprint. But with only 7 laps to go, if you go to the back of the field, you're going to be a long way back now if someone decides to do a couple of laps on the front. Riders starting to bunch up there now. Danica Blinko's at the front. She swings up, has a look back. Is she going to go all the way back? Riders taking short turns. Field bunching up a bit. No pace on at all. Come around this time, get the call of 5 to go. What number is that? 86. That's Ryan Elliott just sitting there at the moment. With Byron Davies sitting behind them. They come in and get the call of 4 to go. These two will be quite happy to stay at the front now. No, Byron swings up out of the way, so it gives Lauren Perry the wheel to drift up onto Ryan Elliott. Ryan swings up though, so those boys will play their own little game. They're going to go to the back. Alicia McQuaig swings up again, hands it over to Mitchell Louis, quickly out of there. Byron Davis sitting right down the back of the field. Led through that time by Sophie Watts. Hands it over to Quan Chan. Probably got that wrong. Yes, I thought that was going to happen. Now we'll see Byron Davies come around this time to get the bell, and he should out, and Ryan Elliott will probably try and chase him. No. We go through there. Lauren Perry's having a good dig, though, to try and close that gap down. But Byron Davies will come through and take this out quite comfortably. That's Lauren Perry, followed through then by William Emulus. Probably hear that name popping up a little bit. A good little junior rider, so you've got juniors, elites in there with a bit of a mix. Handing over now, we're dropping back to an 8-lap scratch race for this one. Bit of a smaller field. Might be a couple of riders down. It's good the riders getting a okay, they're rolling away. The other riders will go out on the other side. So a few riders missing. These sort of information will all be coming up. They don't run things properly anymore. Let's see, this looks like a bit of a junior field. Joshua Cotton leading them through there. No, the bloke at the back is not a junior. So there we go. The commissaire has declared the race started. They'll get the call of 7 this time around. Got Craig Wall sitting at the back. He's got a big gear on there, so I don't know what's going to happen with these juniors. If he winds it up, they'll try and hang on there. Legia John Stutter. I'm going to get that wrong. Someone will come and correct me sooner or later, I hope. Done a bit of a turn there and swung up to the front. Coming around this time. Matty Douglas Savage does a turn and swings up. Craig Wall does a short turn. All the riders doing short turns again. first event. These riders will still want to get to know each other a little bit to see what they go like, to see who to watch. Matilda Taylor's got the head down and does a bit of a hit out, followed through by clubmate there. Pace is starting to pick up a little bit now. Craig Wall's hanging off the back. He's got a big gear. Maybe you want to wind that up and catch these kids with that. With the small gear on, they can accelerate really quickly. So Matty Douglas Savage goes through for a turn at the front. Quite happy to sit there and do a turn. All the riders taking short, some of the riders taking short turns there again. Ella Whitehouse there. Leela or Leja does a turn, rolls up to the top. Now they're moving forward now as a bunch, so they're all waiting for something to happen. The riders will come around this time to get the call of 2 to go. Josh Cotton's sitting on the outside there. I'd say that he's just waiting for the call. He's going to move now. I thought he would make a bit of move. He'll get the call of... Yes, gets the bell this time. Josh Cotton leads it out, followed through then by Ella Whitehouse. Bit of a battle for third, trying to come around the outside there, but not quite going to make it. See what happens on the next bend. No. The head wanted to go, leg said no. So here we go. That'll go through to Joseph Cotton, Ella Whitehouse, and followed through by Hannah Walters. It's good to see some juniors out there digging in and having a go. We've got to encourage our juniors in the sport because they're our next lot of Olympians. Okay, a bit of a slightly larger field here. Okay, the riders will roll around now. See if they get their start. 10-lap event for this lot. Okay. Led through there by Grayson Punch. Still just sitting there rolling around. No one in the field overly excited about going through and doing anything at the moment. See Grayson Punch from the Byron Bay Cycling Club. I think he's been up to nearly every event we've run over the last few years up here. Likes his cycling. Clayton Ives sitting off the back, which is not an unusual position for him. But he'll wind it up at some stage and try and take a flyer off the front. Grayson still sitting there with some juniors sitting on his wheel saying, thank you. You stay there, we'll stay here and just follow you around. They come in this time to get the call to 7 to go. Pace hasn't still picked up all that much. Ewan Holzberger just sitting outside the wheel there for a while. No one wanting to go any further forward. Grayson Punch has a quick look over the shoulder. Little Cam Franks sitting on his wheel. See the difference in leg speed out there. You can tell the difference in the gearings. All our juniors on restricted gearings, as everyone out there would know. Okay, a bit of a move around the outside now. Let's see what happens here. We're going to make a race out of it. Pedaling really quick, but not going all that far. They're just going through. Punch just sitting there. Led through this time by Jacob Cork. It swings up out of the way. Riders coming up, over, around, in between. Everybody decides they want to play now as they'll come around this time to get the call of 4 to go. Still a long way, or 3 to go now. It's just changed. They're coming through now. That rider's not on my program. I thought I saw number 62. Yeah, there is a 39. Okay, they're coming around now. Still got 2 to go. So Lachlan Chamberlain was out the front, but he swung up on the outside. Rider coming around the outside now. Lachlan's trying to go again. So the bell this time for Kevin Tran, followed through then. Still Lachlan Chambers still holding in there. Jared Whittaker coming through there now. He's has a quick look. He's going to try and come around. But that will be taken out there by Kevin Tran. And then you'll find that Jared Whittaker managed to come in and overtake Lachlan Chamberlain to get the finished in third after a bit of an effort earlier on, taken off from the front. Next event out on the track, another scratch race, this one being 12 laps. A few known names in here that we'll come across. Bit of a mixture of riders, still a few masters, few elites, a few juniors. See George Tucker's down again from the Rocky Club. He travels down a fair bit, seen a bit of him here over the years. It's good to see. Other names we know throughout here, we've got Megan Moore, April Paddy, Eden Seeley Cunnington. They fly here a bit. And here we go, my father and son, Sean and Felix Crossman. Bodie Dusha we see in here quite a bit at these things. A lot of the others. Ian Snodgrass from the Ipswich Cycling Club. Ian and his family do a lot for cycling out at Ipswich Way. Do a lot of work with juniors. We've got George Tucker riding. Here's Lockie Cameron in there from St George. From St George Cycling Club. Gary Morgan there again. A bit of an old hand we see rocking around here now and then. So they're led through there by Matthew Wynn. Used to seeing him in his Kangaroo Point colours. So that one took me a little bit by surprise. Reasonable sized field out here. Plenty of room to hide if you're inclined to do so. Lockie Cameron just sitting on the front there, quite happy to roll around in that position. No pressure on just yet. Once again, you can see the difference in cadence out there between the different riders, juniors and Isabella Potts just sitting on the back of Cameron. She decides she doesn't want to be there. She's going to move back up, go back through the field. Lockie Cameron still content to sit on the front. Comes through this time, gets the call of 9 to go. Megan Moore just sitting there on the wheel. Who's third wheel? I'll do second wheel. You tell me who third wheel is. Lockie Cameron still fitting there on the front. Megan Moore still quite happy to be on the wheel there. April Paddy, so Megan Moore, April Paddy, two names we've seen quite a bit over the years coming through the junior ranks. So Lockie Cameron's got a good crew of the younger junior riders through there. Eden Sealy Cunnington's in amongst those riders up there at the front. She's fifth wheel back. So Cameron's still sitting there, comes through this time and get the call of 6 to go. Still followed through by Megan Moore, April Paddy.
I thought there was one in between them. Yeah, there's one in between them.
So we haven't changed order yet. So we've got those same riders there. Oliver Jordan included in that bunch just there at the front. She's fourth wheel at the moment, so everyone's quite happy to proceed around.
Is that Chris Lang up the outside? Isn't he?
Looks like Chris Lang's pulled out. He's going to start slowly moving forward. Eden Sealy Cunnington going out there. So Chris Lang coming through. Courtney McGowan on Chris Lang's wheel. She knows when to sit on a good wind block. Sorry, Langy. Now, there we go. Olivia Jordan's going to... Oliver Jordan just went through to the front now. Going to start to lead this out. The riders are now starting to pick up and come through from the back. They'll come around this time and get the call of 2 to go. Eden Cunnington sitting right there on the front. We've got Felix Crossman coming up around the outside. So see what happens here. He'll get a bell this time. I thought that looked like Jay Dorabell, but no, it's not. Okay, we come through now. They get the bell. Got Felix Crossman going through there now. George Tucker coming around the outside. He's going to be challenged there by...
No, it's the other one.
Let's see what happens here. Oh, yes. Oliver Jordan took that out from George Tucker. Threw his bike. A good bike throw that was. If you could see it from up here, he might have been out practicing that. Although that could have been the same. They could have run the same race over 3 laps. It was a bit of a procession up to Len, but then I said it's their first event. Everyone wants to get out there on the first ride, just roll around, get your feel, see who you're riding against. Didn't see Ian Snodgrass in amongst them that time. But he was out there, good to see him still back on the bike. Next event on the program, also a 12-lapper. So the rider went past the chief, went past the starter, he decided that's not going to be a good thing, I'll go back. So Lockie Cameron there to roll past the starter. Tony will get a bit up. Okay, here we go. Who we got in this one? So the race has started. They'll come around this time and get the call. 11 to go. It's Madison Taylor on the front. She quickly swings up. Jay Dorabell coming through now for another turn. Still got that distinctive helmet. Glad to see he's painted this bike blue. Chris Weir now rolling through for a turn at the front. Joey Black now has a hit out at the front. He'll make this interesting. He won't wait for a procession. There he goes, swings up, bit of a gap in the field. He'll drop straight into that gap. Zach Douglas Savage just hit the front. He's not waiting either. Oh, no, he is. He's swung up. I thought he'd give a bit of a hit. A couple of these riders riding with their hands over the tops of the bars. Okay, here we go now. The pace is on now. Lachlan Walters does a turn, swings up the front. Joey Black coming back through. No, it's not Joey Black, but the other rider. He's straight up. Black's at the back. Jay Doraboom now, he does a turn, has a quick look to see who's coming through. The pace is on a bit. Zach Douglas Savage quickly hangs up, hands over to Sterling Jarnell, who also swings straight up. Doraboom finds himself back near the front again, doesn't really want to be there. Madison Taylor down the bottom of the track coming through now, has a quick look around. There's no one there. Doraboom coming up around the top. The riders don't want to do too much, but they don't want to get caught out either. You've got Zach Boardman sitting around there. Doraboom's coming down to the bottom of the track now. None of the riders too keen to do much at the front now, coming through this time to get the call of 5 to go. It's steadied back down a little. Nelson Andrade just did his turn, swung up to the top. He'll be one to watch in this. Very strong. Sometimes rocks up on a Tuesday night. The boys have a bit of fun there when he's there. Okay, now we're having a bit of a go out here. Lachlan Walters, but he heads it straight up. Oh, they've got to watch out now. They've split the field in half. So let's see what happens to these back riders, see if they can make their way through here. It's Zachary Douglas Savage sitting on the front. Walters comes through. Oh, Savage got back onto the wrong wheel. Doraboom making a move up around the outside. Try and catch these riders in front. Chris Weir's out of it for the moment. William Holzberger trying to get onto the wheel of Doraboom to get dragged along. Doraboom's made his way up to those two riders in the middle, but they've got a long way to go now. Let's see if Doraboom can close this down. We come through there now, and it's Lachlan Walters out the front. Jay Doraboom chasing him down. Sterling Jarnell coming around the outside. They're coming down to Doraboom. They'll catch him, but they won't catch the rider in front. So it'll be Lachlan Walters will go through and take it. Sterling Jarnell will take out second. Jay Doraboom, I think, would have held on for third. But leave that up to the judges. We've got them down there. That's what they're getting the big dollars for. So that had a few little interesting parts in there. Okay, next event on the program. Oh, yes, the race against the clock. So we're now going to start getting the riders lined up to do their flying 200s. So they're getting they'll start on the back fence and get 3 to go when they get around this side of the track. And their time will be taken over the final 200 metres, which is the white line at the northern end of the track, around to the finish line. It's very technical and tactical, riding a good 200, to know where your acceleration points are, where you need to be on the track, where you accelerate from and to. Riders do use different lines when they're coming into it, and it changes on each track, especially with the length of the different tracks. The old 333.333s compared to the 250s here, and then you go to somewhere like Bundaberg, which has a 408 metre track. It's different. Maryborough, when they had it track going, it's virtually a circle, although it does have one little flat side on it. When you race it, you'll notice it. It's 312 metres, so you've got to learn these different tracks and where you come in from. They very seldom ever use these for championship events anymore. We have had them at Rocky a few times. But it's a 333, and everyone knew their line on a 333. If you go down to Launceston and ride the track down there, it's 285. Narang's 357, so they all vary a little bit. And you learn your different lines, where to come in to get the best advantage of your acceleration points. So our first rider from the Balmoral Cycling Club is Adelaide Bailey. And we've got a few riders over there getting ready to go up now. See Zane Cunnington over there. Used to ride himself. He doesn't have time anymore. He's got 3 kids that ride, so spends all his time looking after them. Okay, well, Adelaide Barley is not the first rider out. I don't think, or is it? I'm just trying to pick a number from here. So that's number 19. Not even on the list. So it's Benjamin Woods representing the Blackburn Cycling Club. He'll come around this time to get the call of 2 to go. These flying 200, very, very important for sprinters, because the faster you can qualify, the higher up the ranking you get when you go into your first round, the lower down the rank you race in your opposite. So if you qualify first and you've got 12 in the event, you're right to go off against number 12. So the higher up you qualify, the slower the person is that you have to ride your first heat against. So there we go. He stopped the clock at 12.044. So 12.044 is the first time to beat. I know I had it up there for you, but 12.000 is 60 kilometres an hour. Should be able to work that out mathematically pretty quickly. So now we have Adelaide Barley out there on the track. We had one of our junior riders. Adelaide received the bell that time through, dropped out in the sprinters lane, paddling around there, 7.154 at the half. Let's see if she can bring this home any quicker and try and get it into the 14s. Oh, 14.713. So that's just a bee's wing flap under 49 kilometres an hour. Not bad for some of these juniors when you think about it. They're clocking out there around 50 kilometres an hour. What'd you lose? You're welcome. Want some chips? Okay. So on the track at the moment now, we have Anthony Lane. He's coming in through to get his points.
Not on there either.
Sorry, just these names aren't in the program, so we've got to see what's happening there. 12.715. So that's Josh Nixon out on the track now. He is in the program. That makes life a little bit easier. So we've still got Benjamin Wood still travelling around with the fastest time. At 12.044. Let's see what Josh Dixon can do with that. He'll come around and receive the bell this time now, out of the saddle, winding it up. He'll drop down now. Hit the line a bit further around than some would start at clock. Started the clock, run up onto the red line a bit there. Just let the bike do the work for you. Up a bit high there again. The shortest way around is the black line. He'll come around this time and stop the clock at 12.114. So out on the track at the moment. We should have Michaela Gibbs, but we'll see what happens when the rider comes around. It's a bit like a lucky dip. You never know what you're going to get. Okay, let's see what the number is as the rider goes underneath the commentary box here. That's Keisha Smalley. So they're just running them around the wrong way. They've run Josh Nixon, so okay. So that's Keisha Smalley out there on the track now wearing number 60. She'll come around at this time now to get the bell. Out of the saddle, winding up. Start to head down now. And starts the clock running. Well, clock actually don't run, they don't have feet. Okay, that was 6.7, so see if we can come this under the 14, and it will stop the clock at 12.910. That was a good second 100. I'm not running them in the order of the program. Okay, we've got a rider coming around the track now. So that's Olivia Wright out on the track now. From the Balmoral Cycling Club. This QAS kit she's got on, isn't it? It's in her QAS kit. Out of the saddle now, receives the bell. Well, let's see what line we take down here. And yeah, better line. That's a good line. Starts the clock running. Let's see what the split's going to be on this one. We've got a split of 6.4. So see if we can get that and bring it in under 13, and not quite 13.156. So Keisha Smalley, actually, if you go back and have a look at it, actually rode a second 100 faster than the first 100. Now, you may think that's good, but it's actually not. Because if you've got enough energy to expend after the first 100 metres, you didn't spend enough in the first 100. Once your negative split, you go back to the drawing board, a little learning curve. Oh, that was Olivia Wright down here, wasn't it? Maybe McCarthy isn't there. Out on the track now, we have Indiana Plant getting ready for her 200-metre journey. Coming around this time, receiving the bell. Ooh, went down a little bit late, but set the clock running now and see what happens. Going to bring it home, push it all the way to the line, and there we go. 14.280. Okay, looks like, yes. Don't have to see the number. I know the body shape. Funny, you do get to know the riders just by the way they sit on the saddle and that after a while when you've seen them often enough. So that's Sandra Stoy, representing the University Club. Used to see her a lot on Tuesday night, so that's why I know what she sits on the saddle like. Used to come out here and train with some of the other sprinters. So Sandra should be able to ride a reasonable time. She's done enough of these to know what they're like and know how much it hurts. Should be able to take a good line into the track. There she goes, sets the clock running. Let's see what the split's like for the 100. The split at 6.222. So 12.5 is possible, and she will do 12.651. Alana Lake, our next rider out on the track from the Blackburn Cycling Club. Got a few riders riding today from the Blackburn Cycling Club. So used to get quite a few riders come interstate years ago before everything got so expensive. We'd have our funny thing was, many years ago, our junior state championships used to be 2 weeks prior to New South Wales quite often, and we'd be running our championship events up here. And I have seen one night we had 14 New South Wales riders up here riding with us, which meant our under 15 and under 17 pursuits went a little bit later than expected. So here we go, coming in this time to get the bell. So Alana starts the clock running now. Going around, let's see what the split's like for this rider, and it is 6.189. So we'll be in the low 12s. We have a 12.661.
Oh, did you? That's handy.
So these times here will be used for seedings a little bit later on. We've got some few little sprints coming up and some Keirins. So knowing these times and the speeds that these riders can do helps you seed them, so to speak. So Madison Smith out there now on her journey of 3 laps. Will come around to get the bell this time around. So if they use these times and seed them for those other events, that'll make it very interesting. So there we go around now. Madison goes around and starts the clock. We'll have a quick look to see what her split time is, and she will stop that at 6.624. Let's see what their final time is. And stopping the clock at 13.666. The Devil's number. So Carla Bletchfield should be our next rider on the track. And here the bike there must be a bit heavier body there coming around. You can hear him rolling around the boards from up here as he comes under the window. Starting to get wound up down the back straight now. Out of the saddle, got the bigger gear on. Sits down, drops it down into the sprinter's lane now. Sets the clock running. Let's have a look at the split as he gets to the 100-metre mark. He'll get there now, and he'll stop the clock there at 5.864. So let's see, can he bring this in under, close to 12? 12.079. So that gives him the second fastest time so far. So Benjamin Wood still hanging on to that fastest time at the moment. But we'll see what happens when we get a little bit further down the track. We've got a couple of boys, men I should say, coming up at the end of the program who should be able to quite comfortably beat that time. So Liliana McLennan coming around now. She'll get the bell next time around. Out of the saddle, winding up to come back up into that incline down the back straight. There the bell goes. Out of the saddle, put the power down. Back into the saddle, drop down into the sprinter's lane. Hold that black line. Starts the clock running, still on the black line. Nice technique. Stops the clock at the split at 6.084. Can we bring it home and get it very low 12? Come on. And there we go. 12.4. 1373. So that's a 12.413 for Liliana. Okay, Simon Wallace out there on the track now, rolling around. Picking up a bit of pace down the back straight. Okay, out of the saddle, winding up, coming down there now, dropping down into the sprinter's lane. Sets the clock running. He's got a split of 0.5854, so that's going to be a pretty quick time. And he will stop the clock in 11.930. So that's our fastest time now. Next rider out on the track now, Rian Lee from Tanan City Junior Track Team. Tanan. See what happens. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but I'm sure if I get it wrong, someone will correct me. Rian coming in this time to get the bell out of the saddle, still out of the saddle, down into the seat, very high on the track there. Set the clock running, still sitting up on the red line, coming down into the sprinter's lane now, has stopped the clock at 6.191, coming around out of the bend, good line coming down the straight there now, and with a ride of 12.423. So Emma Stevens out there on the track at the moment. Not too sure what Emma's been doing lately, but she's informed this will be one of her pet events. This and the 500 metres was her pet events. Emma's also done very well in state weightlifting championships, because a lot of our sprinters do weight training. All the riders do weight training actually. Some of the blokes I used to ride with here used to do weight training. We'd ride out and come to a hill, they'd get to the top and wait for me. Very nice of them. So let's see how Emma goes here. Her mother, Megan, also used to race for quite a few years. So Emma comes in this time to get the bell. drops down into the sprinter's lane. Nice line on the black. Drifts out the corner, but that's all right. The bike can control itself around there. Back down there, stop the clock at 5.607, so this should bring in a good time. And there she is. She stopped the clock at 11.513. So that now moves Emma's time as to being the quickest so far.
Right? Can you see Mike? He might not have come. I wonder if he sent me a text. No.
Okay, rider coming around now. Still got the call of 2 to go. Christopher Mullins, he should be able to set a reasonable time. Comes along on Tuesday nights to training just to keep his legs turning over. Comes in this time to get the bell. And there he goes now, dropping down into the sprinter's lane. Round the bend, sets the clock running. Good line down through the back straight, sitting on the back black line. Splits the clock at 5.7, so let's see what he'll bring this home in. And he will stop the clock at 11.575. Okay, so we have 2 riders now that have broken that 12-second barrier. So Mullo's time then brings him in around about just over 62 kilometres an hour, which is reasonably quick.
Oh, that's not Lauren Perry, is it?
Next rider out on the track we have coming through there now is Lauren Perry from Launceston City Cycling Club. Let's see what sort of a time can be set here. Out of the saddle, winding up, coming down to receive the bell. Dropping down now, a nice line into the sprinter's lane. Sets the clock running. Just a nice little movement out of the corner on the back line down the back straight. We'll have a split time of 5.714. And let's see what that's going to equate at is in a total time. And she'll go through at 11.612. So quite a few riders now starting to break that 12-second barrier. Get down the track a bit. We may even seen the 11-second barrier get beat. See what happens here today. A lot of it's going to depend on the temperature, the atmosphere, whether or not the dogs are barking, if the birds are in the trees. So William Emulus should be out on the track now. And it is pretty handy rider. Gets involved in everything. Coming around to get the bell now, junior gearing, so he's going to drop into the sprinter's lane. He sits a little bit high out there. Hasn't got enough weight to get him down the track. There we go, 5.8, I think it was. A bit hard to see from here, it's a bit of a parallax. He'll stop the clock at 11.9. 11.910. So it's just over 60 kilometres an hour for that young rider.
Are they supposed to be? I've got one for Cran. here we go. Quan Chen lead.
Okay, out on the track now, Quan Chan Yi, sorry. Also from the Tainan City Junior Track Team. Had a few riders over here over the last few years coming to Australia, getting their training in. She received the bell this time. Nice line down into the sprinters lane, sets the clock running. See what Quan Chan does at the, there we do it, a 5.6. Just over that, and she'll come through and stop the clock at 11.366. Okay, next rider on the track, Adam Clark. Doesn't mind doing the, notably an enduro rider mostly. Goes quite well on the road, but also likes the enduro on the track. Adam comes through now, gets the call of 2 to go. Come now down to get the bell, out of the saddle, winding it up, drops down, sits down and starts the clock running. Coming up around now, down through to the back straight. Adam has a split of 5.594, so we'll see how he goes that. If he can crack the, it's 11.370, I think. 11.330. So that moves Adam through to the fastest time now. So we are going to get a couple of more quick rides are going to be coming in here. So we get some of these times may seem a little bit slower than others, but we've got juniors out there. We've got female riders out there in amongst these riders as well. So some of the times may not look as quick as others, but in their own division they are. So we've got Sebastian Topping out there at the moment, rolling around. Comes through, gets the bell, drops down. Clock has started. And the split there is 5.561. So let's see how quick he can keep this coming through home, 11.253. It's funny when you look back at times when Russell Mockridge was considered at one stage one of Australia's top track cyclists. His flying 200 time was 12.2. So yes, when people started getting under 12 seconds. People had to start taking notice of them then because it was getting serious and everyone was getting faster. Danica Blinko out on the track at the moment. Danica should be up there amongst the quick time. See how she goes. So there we go. A bit of a noise out of that disc. She's putting it under pressure. And here we go. She's got a split there of 5.601. So let's see what we're going to stop the clock at there. There's another 11.270. So still some quick times floating around out there. So Sebastian Topping with the fastest time, then Danica Blinko just whizzed in there to slip into second place at the second fastest time recorded so far. So rider coming through there now to get the bell is Molly McGill, and this will be another quick time. Molly's getting that bike wound up there. That's a 5.602, I think it was. And she will stop the clock at 11.417. Next rider out on the track, Ella Liang. Had a pretty good season, did well at the Oceanas. Come away from there with a medal. Let's see what happens here, because Ella will post a reasonable time as well. Ella coming around there now, get the call of 2 to go. There we go. Ella's up high on the track, getting that bike wound up. Dad up there singing out as she goes past. She drops down into the sprinter's lane, sets the clock running. Let's see what she can do down into the back straight now. Coming in to set up the split, and she has a split of 5.961. So that is going to bring her in hopefully under the 12, and not quite. 12.042. So a few riders remaining here to run out here.
You going? You all right? It's 3 o'clock.
So if you watch rolling around now, she'll receive the bell next time around. The start of her final lap. Out of the saddle now, winding up, coming down. There's the bell. Comes down across the line, drops into the lane. Round the bend, the clock is running. Now she'll get into the back straight. Let's see what it stopped there at, 5.595. And she'll come around, and will she break 12? Yes. 11.357. I must have, well, hopefully I read that split wrong. A bit hard to see. I'm looking at a parallax here, looking across. It's not always easy to see what that middle digit is.
Who's out there now?
Coming in now to receive the bell. So Glinda Robinson has started her journey for her flying 200 metres. She'll come around now and she'll have a split 5.764. So another rider going to break the 12. Yes, 11.772. So that's Alicia McQuaig out on the track at the moment. Come around there. Coming this time, get the bell out of the saddle, winding up. Getting ready to drop down into that lane. Got that gear wound right up, the clock's running, so let's see what their split time is like. Down into the back straight, we've got a split to 5.528. So let's see how we go, breaking that, bring it in under the 12, and it will be 11.197. That now is the quickest time.
That's a good tyre. What do you reckon?
Always worries me when they're up the top.
Okay, Mitchell Louis, another rider, fully capable. He'll go well under the 12. So let's see what sort of a time Mitchell Louis can put down. Been coming through the junior ranks, back up into this level. Been riding for a while. Coming in now, receives the bell, drops down into the sprinter's lane, and sets the clock running. Hugging that black line around the bend, down into the back straight with the split of 5.312. This is going to be a pretty quick time. Our first rider to break the 11-second barrier. 10.822. Very well done.
What did I say it was? 10.822.
I expect these next two riders will. I expect these next two riders should also be able to come in and break that 11-second barrier. There's Ryan Elliott out there on the track at the moment.
Do you want chocolate? Lie down in the bed.
So Ryan Elliott getting it wound up down the back straight now. Out of the saddle, winding the gear up. Riders ride really big gears these days. Sets the clock running down through the back straight. Very little time to clock that first one, 4.962. Can he hold that? And, oh, I thought we might see the 10-second go. Well, there you go, just under 72 kilometres an hour. So that's that obviously now is our quicker time, and let's see what happens when Byron gets out there to see if he can better that again. See if we can get that 10-second barrier broken. Let's see the riders for the next event are lining up, ready to go out of their tempo race. Elliott out of the saddle, big frame, big man, big gear. Here he is, got it wound up, coming down now, dropping down into the sprinter's lane, hugging that black line around the bend. And he's set the clock running, and let's see what it was with a split of 4.920. This should break the 10-second barrier, and it's a 9.876. Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. 9.876.
It's scary watching.
That's getting in amongst the really good times in the world. As the riders were saying last night, even at Olympic level, 9.6 is considered a good time. So with Byron there riding a 9.8, that's up there with the best of the times around.
Australia's done pretty well in there. How far are we on this window?
Okay, the starter coming around onto the track. Clerk of the course sending the riders on their way as we come around to start this next event.
Pardon? What time? I funny feeling it was slow. I can't remember. I didn't see the qualifying. I only seen him ride.
Okay, riders going back out around there now. This is for a tempo race. So the riders will ride around. The chief will decide when they'll get the bell for a sprint lap. Okay, Craig Wall still sitting on the front of this group of riders as they go around. Savannah Walker just sitting there. Get up closer to his wheel, Savannah. He's a good sit. If you get behind him, you'll have no worries about drafting. The vacuum will keep you there. Craig still content to sit on the front. Savannah still sitting in there. No one else moving forward. Hannah Walters still sitting in there. Elsie Vaughan having a bit of a look around. Josh Cotton now moving up to the outside. He might think there's a bell sounding. Oh, there goes the bell. Let's see. Savannah Walters is right on the front. Elise Vaughan sitting there at the wheel. Joseph Cotton around the outside, just having a look. Cotton should be able to accelerate around past these other riders. So Joseph Cotton will come through to take out this one by the look of it. He's followed through then by Ella Whitehouse. So let's see those two riders. All they've got a bit of a gap on the field. It's broken up a little, but let's see. It's all coming. It will come back together. Although Cotton does look as though he's keeping the pressure on. Yes, he's still going hard. Ella Whitehouse quite happy to sit on the wheel. They're slowly riding away from the other riders. No one's making any ground on the two front riders as of yet. Joseph Cotton still quite happy to sit at the front and do the work. No, he swung up that time. He said, no, I need a bit of a break. Give me a hand. So Ella swings up and then gives it back over to Josh. Now we've got some riders at the back that might be able to get together to bring this group back. Savannah Walker's going around the outside. They should just drop in and try and work with each other. If they want to try and... Cotton's ridden away from Ella. She did a lap, and then he went. So Joseph comes around to get 2 to go this time around. So he's in front. He's followed through then by Ella Whitehouse. Then a group of 3 riders, and then everyone else is out in the paddock. So we get Elsie Vaughan on the bottom of the track. Oh, there goes the bell for Cotton. Savannah Walker now comes around the front. She sat on the outside there, which was that's the longest way around. No, she couldn't quite make it, had half a dig, couldn't quite make it to get around the outside. Now Hannah Walters decided she's going to go for it. She's gone around the outside. So Joseph Cotton comes through to take it off. Followed through there by Ella Whitehouse. She's got through to get that. And third rider, yes, will be Hannah Walters. So we'll move right on now to event number 9.
How you doing?
Okay, Keith Ham giving the final instructions to the riders over there in the back straight before he sends them around here to the starter. Okay, riders come around this way, led through by Richard Watson. We've got Scott Hutchison out there in the field. A few juniors still floating around in this group as well. Clayton Ive up high on top of the track, moving around to the front. Richard Watson leads them through. Lachlan Chamberlain says, I decided he'll go across to Watson. Clayton Ive coming around up high on the track. So this is another tempo race. Kevin Tran got across that gap. Wants to sit there on the back. Clayton Ive bringing up the rest of the group. So Jonathan Davies moving right around the outside. He wants to get up near the front. He wants to be there when the bell goes. So Richard Watson on front. Jonathan Davies coming around the outside. Let's see how far he can go with that. You've also got Vanessa Nanfra in there, wants to get in with and play the game. Here we go, some of the riders there. Oh, rider there is going to come through and take the points out on that one there. Ewan Holzberger taking the points out, and he's staying away. Has a quick look around, says, not too sure if I want to be out here. Long way home on your own. But he comes through and gets a call of 6 to go. Still sitting out there. Let's see if the riders can get across. So Jonathan Davis trying to get across. Okay, rider coming out of the pack. He'll not only will he catch that rider, he's going to go straight past. Let's see what he can hold out from here. He's going to give it a go. That's Lachlan Chamberlain. Has a quick look over his shoulder. Not a lot happening behind. Oh, just got to watch that. Very close on a touch of wheels there. Doesn't take much. Just be in the wrong spot, trying to do things. So Tran not happy about the rider being away in front. Then he got a little junior in the middle, legs spinning. So we get the call of 3 to go. So Lachlan Chamberlain out front, Kevin Tran chasing him down. Jared Whittaker now moving to the front of the other group, trying to see if he can get through. He's got 2 laps to do it. So Lachlan Chamberlain leading through. Kevin Tran on the wheel there. Jacob Cork trying to get across. He's been stuck in the middle of no man's land. Jared Whittaker was trying to get through. Led the rider so far along. They've decided that's far enough. We're going on our own. Now we'll go through now. Chamberlain should go through to win this. Maybe not. Kevin Tran's coming very, very hard. Bit of a chase here at the back now for third. Ewan Holzberger was coming up, so here we go here. Oh, for second, actually. Kevin Tran's going to take that out. Lachlan Chamberlain will have second, and it will be Cam Franks for third place. So the exciting sprints for third was the exciting part there.
What'd you find?
So moving right on now to event 11. It's another tempo race, but this one's 15 laps. Just see who's out there riding this one and see who's in the program.
No, that's fine. I'm just checking where it's supposed to be.
Here.
It's in the iPod.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, normally it's there. I just got to find it now.
Number 13. 14.
Is that it?
Where's the go to?
Okay, bit of a tumble there. So we've got a few riders down. Young girl fell earlier, same spot. Had a few riders on Tuesday night along this straight. Also have problems with a slippery track. So the young girl who fell before, unfortunately, haven't heard anything back yet, but possibly has a broken wrist. I was first one to her after the fall, and possibly has a broken wrist. Put the riders up, back on their bikes. Funny thing, when a bike rider falls down, they can have their arms and legs broken, but they jump up and say, "How's my bike?" That's what you got to worry about. How's the bike?
Find it? I've been putting complaints about this track, telling it's slippery. I just went down to St. Louise about it. She told me it's the dead riders' tyres. So there you got 5 riders there with all the bad tyres.
Okay, so riders going down here and there. Hope Chris Lang doesn't fall off. He'll dent the track. You can tell him that. He won't mind. I don't think. I'll tell him while I'm still up here, though.
Yeah, I didn't bring my laptop.
No, that's all right. I think we should.
Got to be careful.
Yeah, I know it's a clean room.
No, I had someone give me a play once. And I was playing on mine. I'm across the paddock, and one of the young blokes said, "Billy, away."
No. It should be all.
I did play Who's Alice, the other version one night, and I knew which one was on it. And when it comes up with that on it, I apologise. Everyone just laughed. Said, "Billy, we all know it."
Yeah, that's
okay.
exactly. That should be fine. If it goes green, then I'll bring the charger in. Okay. And that way it's fine. Okay.
Okay, we just started off for our next event there now, which is a 15-lap tempo race. No, it's the 12-lap tempo race. My mistake. But this one has started off a little bit faster than the previous events have done. I can see Chris Lang rolling around there in the middle of the field. He'll try and get up the front. We've got a rider out at the back, possibly one of the riders who fell. There we have right out the front now once again is Lockie Keirin. He's going to try and take this out from the front. He wants to be there when the bell goes. A few of the other riders there want to come through too. They want to get mixed up in this event. Come around this time to get the call of 9 to go. So Lachlan Cameron still sitting out there in front, but he's been chased down very quickly by April Paddy. Oliver Jordan in there in the mix. And I can't see Eden there, but I'm sure she'd want to get up and play the game as well. There she is back further. Let's see, they're coming around to get the bell this time. Oh, Lachlan Cameron still at the front. Well, Oliver Jordan swang up, just then heard the bell, dropped back down again, took to the front. Now will probably come around, should be able to hold this lead to take the points on that bell lap. There we go, that's Oliver Jordan who's taken that out, followed through then by Nicholas Smith. And Lockie Cameron dropped back through the field pretty quickly there once they caught him. Okay, some of the riders want to continue this on. Let's see how we go, and they come around this time to go, and oh, is number 15 give that a big nudge. Sean Crossman up on the outside. Now it'll be interesting to see here. We've got Sean and Felix, father and son, both out there at the moment. That's them on the front, father and son sitting there doing the work, riding together. Yep. But not to worry. Oh yeah, sorry Dad, my points. Felix is going on with it, so Sean's on the front, Felix is going out, he's going on with it. The other riders aren't too sure about this. They're not closing the gap very quickly, but let's see if Felix can hold this out for the next one around. Chasing him right down now in the front of that group there, Benjamin Woods, doing the most of the work on that group. But Sean's still sitting at the back, so Sean Crossman's there. They're coming back to Felix. He comes in this time and gets the call of 2 to go. The gap has remained the same. Woods working very hard to try and get him back again. Bodie Douche is sitting in their second wheel, not going out to do anything. He's hoping someone will take him across. The third wheel now is coming out. Sean can't go anywhere. He's just got to bridge the gap. There goes the bell. So Felix should go on to hang on to this one. He's going to be followed through then by George Tucker. George is catching him and accelerating around him. So George Tucker will go on to take that final lap. Let's see if Felix can hang on, but points are only the winner, I think, anyhow. So there we go through, yes. So points then, Sean Crossman, Felix Crossman and George Tucker.
How'd you go with it all? That'll do.
So just when you get to the second half, just maybe before you announce it, just check to make sure. I'm spot on to
Okay. Lachlan Cameron's done this again. Rode past the starter, yes. Just to turn back to get back down. Should have our last riders for our event 11 over on the back waiting to get started. Okay. Okay, the riders received the whistle there from the starter to start this event now. Pedal's not quite turned in anger just yet. Lachlan Waters swings up, hangs over to Doraboom. Douglas Savage now coming through for a turn. All these riders will be keen to get this out. Douglas Savage still sitting on the front, swinging up out of the road there to hand that over to Nelson Andrado. Nelson sitting on the front. He can be an enduro and drive pretty hard off the front if he needs to. So Madison Taylor on his wheel. Black not happy with the proceedings so far, going up and around the outside. Nelson out of the saddle. Matty Taylor out of the saddle, and see what happens now. The pace is really starting to pick up. Okay, so they come in to get the bell. Joey Black is there being challenged by Nelson Andrado. So as I said, Nelson quite good at this, and comes along Tuesday nights. The boys will have a big hit out then. There he goes. Nelson will go across to take that out. Matty Taylor wants to go on with it. Went past Black. She's still going. Matty's in a bit of an enduro rider, but she's not going to get it all on her own. Some of the other riders are dropping in there now, taking the turn over to the front. Let's see, we come through this time now. A rider riding up on the bars. So that's Sterling Jarnell. They've opened up a bit of a gap, these two riders. Madison Taylor just sitting there at the front of the next group, waiting to see what happens. The other two riders still coming around with the call of 8 to go. So that's Thomas Waits going through, didn't do a turn. So the other rider's going to come through now, coming through pretty quick. Jay Doraboom at the back of that little group. He's an enduro. Might be a Masters, but he's a pretty good enduro. Leading him through that time now is Lachlan Walters, followed by Zachary Douglas Savage. Jay Doraboom on Douglas's wheel. So there we go. Savage goes through to get that wound. Let's see what happens to these riders now. They're all going to start looking around at each other. They'll come around this time and get the call of, yes, 5 to go for this time around. So Walter's leading them through on that one. Doraboom swings up. Will drop back down into their little procession again. They might just take it turns at going over here without sprinting foot. Walters is going to come from the back, but will he? Not quite. That's possibly Sterling Jarnell to take out those points, but Walters is going to continue on with it because as he comes around, he'll still get the call of 3 to go. So there's still 3 laps remaining. He's got a pretty good sort of a gap. So Lachlan's leading him out there. Thomas Waits is going to try and chase him down. He's going to get there. He's going to go past him. So Thomas Waits go through. He'll get the call of 2 to go. Walters can't respond. Douglas Savage sits up. Jay Doraboom's rolling around just trying to get back to the finish. And that's Sterling Jarnell quite happy to sit on his wheel. They come around now. Waits gets the bell. That's 1 to go. Douglas Savage, Lachlan Walters, Jay Doraboom and Sterling Jarnell all coming around there as a group to finish. But there is the leader at the moment. Okay, there. Next up, we'll be on to our We're going into our sprint derbies now, and this should be quite interesting. Riders getting themselves ready out there now. The first 2 riders appearing up on the track. Thank you. Pardon? No, that's right. You do me a favour. You're talking to each other. You do this and I'll do that. Okay. Okay, we have our first 2 riders out there now, and our first ride-off rolling off the fence. So Byron Davies leads out, Ryan Elliott on his wheel.
When they get the bell, as soon as they come past you on the bell, then the next one, they can ride up the ramp and keep riding around to me.
So these 2 riders, very experienced sprinters and very experienced at racing against each other. It quite often comes up that they're the 2 that meet each other in the final there. So Byron Davis still looking out over his shoulder. Ryan Elliott coming around the back, both still down low on the track. Call of 2 to go. Elliott down the bottom. Sorry, Elliott up the top. Byron Davis down the bottom. If it becomes a bit of a drag race, we might let's see what happens. Times were pretty close. Okay, come through to get the bell now. Davis has a look down. Ryan Elliott has a look to see where he is. Davis is holding it out there. Elliott's one thing to get to him, it's another thing to get round. He's going around now, comes up on the bend 3. Ryan Elliott's coming up next to him, but does he get there? Oh, you go and pick that. Tell you what, I've only got a slight parallax here. but I'm going to say Elliott. So we see what happens, see what the judges say. But hard to tell here. I'm not looking directly down at the line, so you. But I'd say it's, yep. So still not too sure what the result was. I assume now that no, that's their numbers 1 and 2. I don't know. Did we have a result on that? Don't know. Okay, next two riders on the track should be Mitchell Louis and Alicia McQuaig, according to my scribe's workings out up here. And Neil. Neil Homey, do you have a copy?
I do.
Who got that first one, mate?
Ryan.
Thank you. Just had confirmation from our man on the camera. It might have been on the board there somewhere, I'm not too sure, but anyhow, that did go to Ryan Elliott on the top. Managed to just sneak in over the top. It looked like it from here, from my viewing, but anyhow. Now we have Mitchell Louis and Alicia McQuaig out on the track there now. Mitchell Louis on the front, he starts out. McQuaig coming down behind, very, very close, coming back up onto the wheel. But like I said, it's one thing to get to the wheel, it's the other thing to get past it. She's holding it there, she's holding the time, accelerating now, coming up, but no, not going to make it. That one will go to Mitchell Louis. You can't see all the times, that's all right. It'll be in my program. So that's okay, out on the track there at the moment now. We should be getting ready for Adam Clark and, oh no, sorry, Mitchell Topping and Danica Blinko. They should be around somewhere. Yep, that's them. No, I've got the volume down.
Oh, you just can't hear it.
Do I have it down too far?
Yeah, I think it went perfect. I think that should.
Okay, riders on the fence now, waiting their instructions. Mitchell Topping's going to lead it out with Danica Blinko following through. We don't have a spare comm down there, but in theory, if this was a real event, a commissaire would be walking around at walking pace. If he wasn't walking at walking pace, it wouldn't be walking pace. So, and the riders must travel at walking pace. The front rider must travel at walking pace for the first half lap and must lead. Cannot force the other rider through to the front unless the rules have changed. But the other rider can take the front if they so desire. Now, that rider might not be aware, but if the comm's watching that, as soon as they get over the line, you can still perform track stands, although they're limited to a time frame these days. Also limited to travelling backwards. It's not as silly as it sounds. I've seen it done. They put a limit on the time you can do a track stand, because we're getting situations where people were doing it for minutes, trying to force the other rider through to the front. Not as relevant these days on the 250 metre tracks. It's a bit different on your 333s or your longer tracks where the advantage, you could have an advantage from the back. But a lot of times your 250-metre tracks, oh, there we go now. Topping's decided to wind it up to see if he can get away from Danica. Tried to get that bit of a gap. Danica Blinko's sort of holding her own there. Topping comes around to get the bell. The gap hasn't varied much. Blinko went up the track a little bit to try and get that drop in. She has now accelerating up there. She's accelerating. She's closing the gap, but is she closing it fast enough? Topping comes around the bend. He's holding that 3 metre, 5 metre gap, and that's what it will remain. So he went over, slowed down a bit at the end, but still went over with 2 bike lengths clear.
Now I'll turn it down.
That's all right.
It's just one of these.
No,
Yeah.
it's not this one.
Yeah, it's weird. But sometimes I think particular songs are loud and quiet.
Yes. Okay. There's my finger.
Okay, next 2 riders out on the track there now should be Adam Cork and Sophie Watts. So Adam Cork to lead it out. Sophie Watts coming through on his wheel.
What's this one here? No, that's that one. That's what this one.
It's over here, sorry. Stephen.
Oh, all right.
Because I wrote it twice on Christine.
This one. Kwan.
Okay, riders going pretty steady over there in the back straight now. Adam Cork down on the bottom side of the track. Sophie Watts up above him. Adam may not have realised what he was doing there with that, but Sophie's sitting up there in a good position. Still got 2 laps to go. Rider's still rolling around up near the top of the track. Adam just keeping Sophie up there on the fence. Sophie decided to make a move. She's got the front run if she wants it. And she does. She goes into the sprinters lane first, comes around to get to the bell. Adam Cork's going to try and go around the outside. Sophie's just holding him there at the moment. Let's see what happens when they straighten up down the back. If Cork can't get around there, he may not make it at all. Sophie's holding it around the bend. Coming out of there, she'll come out of the bend, and she will come away with the win. So we'll give that one to Sophie Watt. Adam Cork was second. Next 2 riders out, should be ready to go. Be Quan Chon and Molly McGill. I may get the names wrong, but I'm sure she knows who she is. Well, the riders are still over the other side. Keith Ham getting them ready, make sure everything's ready, sending them around now to the starter. Mr. Tony Tall will get them up onto the fence. Quick chat, and away they go.
No, the program's just been finished. No, it's not. Yeah, the skinner's here somewhere. Yeah, but no. That won't take long. 40 minutes.
Okay, the riders are rolling away now. Quan Chan leading out. Sorry if I've pronounced that wrong, Quan, but feel free to come up and tell me. Molly McGill sitting at the back. Okay, so Molly's decided she's going to take the lead, keeping Quan up the track. Quan gives a little bit of a feint. Bit of a flick of the wrist to try and unnerve the rider in front. And this ride is all about reaction. Knowing what to do, but not having to think about doing it. Being responsive without having to think, just watching what's happening for the slightest little movement. So there we go, McGill out of the saddle. Quan Chan chasing her down. He's got to the wheel in the back straight. McGill kicks again. Quan Chan coming up around to the back wheel. Coming around there on turn 3. McGill holding her out. Coming down into the back straight. Let's have a look as they go over the line. And McGill will hold on to take that one out. So Quan was travelling pretty quick there, but not quite quick enough to come over the top of McGill. Next two riders on the track will be Emma Stevens and Christopher Mullins.
See, I got the information out there before the scoreboard. It's funny when they first started doing this, you know, as commentators 2 years ago, they were trying to find out how come I was getting the sprints and we doing state championship. How do you work on all those sprints? How are you doing it? I've been doing it for years, that's the difference. Like I said, I used to have a look at it, I figured this go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, the riders coming around now. It looks like Emma Stevens will be riding off from the front. And Chris Mullins sitting at the back. Okay, there's the whistle from the starter. Stevens rolled away. Very accomplished sprinter, playing the game for quite a few years. And as I said, state representative in weightlifting as well. Actually, if anyone wants to look back at some old photos a few years on the outdoor velodrome, you find that just as a bit of a demonstration event, I had a bit of a sprint derby with Emma's mum, Megan. Megan wanted to go away and race. She had no one to sprint against, and I just said, well, if I was allowed, I'd ride against you. And lucky for us, Mr. Tony Tor said we'll call it an exhibition ride. And yes, you and Emma can ride, and Emma can get a bit of sprint practice. It's a few years ago now, but it worked well for us. She went down to nationals and medalled. So Emma keeping a very good eye here on Chris. Doesn't want to let him get through. Looking around, heads on a swivel. Picks the pace up now, tries to take Chris up the track, drops back down into the sprinter's lane. Mullins doesn't want to go yet. He'll go in the back straight. There he goes now. He's going to try and get around Stevens. He's got her up around bend 3. He's coming level with on the back wheel, but can he accelerate down through the transition? No, looks like Stevens is going to hold on to win that one. So that'll be Stevens taking that one out, and Chris Mullins in second place.
Next two names are the same. Oh, right, eh? Yeah.
So our next two riders on the track should be Lauren Perry and Kalinda Robinson.
Keep that his radio on when he's giving the instructions. Actually, it's not the clerk of the course that gives the instructions, it should be the starter. Unless they've changed the rules. The clerk assembles the rider, checks the kit, checks their numbers, kicks them off.
Okay, now on the track we have Lauren Perry and Kalinda Robinson. Lauren Perry to lead this one out. There they go, rolling off the track. Okay, the riders going around there. Perry leading around. Robinson very attentive at the back. Not knowing the other riders here now. Perry get out of the saddle. They'll come in this time to get the bell. Robinson up high on the track. Lauren Perry dropping down now. Robinson taking the top of the track. She'll drop down. Should be able to take the sprinter's lane. There she goes. Robinson has kicked around to the front. Lauren Perry trying desperately to get onto her wheel. Robinson still holding it around the bend. She should be able to hold on and take it out from there, but a very good ride. Well done to Lauren Perry. And great to see a rider up here coming up from the a little southern state down the bottom of Australia there. One they keep forgetting about. So we'll see what happens. See if we can get Tasmania up to ride in this other series that looks like it's getting up and going. Be good to see them have put a team in from down there.
Who's your next?
Yeah, I got one in here, but I'll just do this first.
70, 81 and 75. Who are they?
Ella
Ella's there.
Simon Wallace and Will Emilius.
Yep, okay.
And Will's in the red.
Okay, Wallace leading out here from Ella Liang. William Emilius at the back of the track, back of the field now. We've got a little junior, a middle junior, and someone a bit more or older, a lot less a junior at the front. So Wallace leading through there, Ella Liang up the top having a bit of a look. Emilius is on the wheel. Ella going up high up the track. She likes playing the sprint game. She's coming back down under the wheel here. She's going to cut in and try and go. They come through to get the bell here now. And it's three of them cross the line together. Emilius stuck there in the middle. Ella Liang on the outside. She can't quite make it. Emilius trying to come around Wallace. Ella Liang dropped in on the wheel. She can hold the pace but can't get past. Wallace is holding out. William Emilius there on the outside. And they'll come through there. Wallace will take it. Emilius second and Ella Liang in third place.
When the numbers come up on the screen, if you can just tell me their names. Well, I'll tell you the numbers, you tell me the names. Well, you'll see them there, won't you? And I'll just write the names down.
Oh, you might need to see the name numbers from up here.
I'll see the numbers from here before they're up there.
Okay, we've got our next three starters coming around the track. They'll swing up onto the fence. Here we go.
So what's their names?
Okay, we have Benjamin Woods leading this out. Pitchfield down the bottom of the track and Josh Dixon at the back.
I think Benjamin Woods at the front, isn't he?
So Woods just sitting down around there, riding around on the duckboard. Blitchfield swinging up at the top of the track. Dixon not too sure which way to go. Three up derbies are hard to ride. The best place to be is either the front or the back. At the back's really good. You can watch the other riders. Not too bad. In the middle, your head's on a swivel. So Dixon's going through now. Bletchfield's following him through. Then Woods is just quite happy to roll at the top. Dixon going up to the top of the track. The other two riders all just watching. Bletchfeld at the back. Dixon now going through. Woods just sitting down on the Bottom of the track. Bletchfield's decided now he wants to take the lead. He'll come in to get the bell and wild call of 1 to go. Dixon's out chasing him. Woods is out of this. He's not going to be able to play part of it. Let's see if Dixon can close this down. Has a quick look down below him. Has a look in front of him. Might as well pedal home. Too late now. The horse has bolted. Bletchfield will go on through, take that one out, followed by Dixon and Wood.
I don't know. He was the last one. You said, I don't know. Yeah, I thought you said he was the last one. Is he? It's a big family. There's many members of the democracy.
Yeah, three up derbies aren't very much fun. 2 up racing is much better. So coming onto the track now, we have Sonia Stoy, Rianne Lee, second wheel. Liliana McClellan at the back. Liliana wants to go straight to the front. Sandra Stoy will drop down onto her back wheel. Rianne Lee following them up the track.
What were their times?
They're coming through this time. Liliana McClellan is leading them through. Sandra Stoy on her wheel. So McClellan up the top of the track. The others just quite happy to follow around, but they're coming in to get the bell this time. Liliana McClellan dropped down to the back. Sandra Stoy goes with it. Rianne sort of missed the jump there a bit. She's had quite a good time in the 200, but let's see what happens here. Sandra Stoy coming around the outside. She's drawn level with her, but going around the bend, the rider on the bottom has the better run. Rianne Lee is coming around the outside, but has left it just a little bit too late. So that's how they'll finish. McLennan, Storer and Ree. So Rianne Lee was coming home quite quick there, but sort of missed the jump earlier on, and that's all it takes. 2 or 3 pedal strokes, too late to start, and that's it. Good night, nurse. Here they are now.
Blacktown rider. Smelly.
Okay, Anthony Lane, big strong sprinter out there with a couple of younger riders. Alana Lake there following the wheel around, and Keisha Smalley bringing up the rear. This should suit Anthony. Likes the splits. Strong man off the start as well. So Keisha Smalley rolling around at the bottom track, letting the other two play the games up the top. Anthony Lane looks over at Alana, just wondering what she's going to do. Keisha Smalley now dropping back to the back of the field. Alana keeping Lane up the top. And you talk about David and Goliath, have a look at those two. Alana Lane's about 1/3 the size of Anthony Lane. There we go, we get the bell. Who makes the move? And it's Lake that makes the move, but Anthony Lane with that big gear will get that wound up. And once he gets that done up, he has a quick look down, sees where the other riders are. Smalley hasn't given up. She's still trying to get through around the outside, so Alana's got to keep going. Anthony Lane will go through to take this one out, and that'll be followed through by Alana Lake, and Keisha Smalley will come through in 3rd place. All sort of held their same line, coming around there, same distance apart, so No one gaining, no one losing. So very good rider out there by those riders. Okay, the last one of these is a 4-up. That's even more funner. Get to a 4-up, it's closer to a scratch race. No, it's only 3 laps, so very short scratch race. Don't have time to get itchy. So coming around there now, the riders coming around, sent on their way by the clerk of the course, Mr. Keith Ham over there, doing a good job. He likes that job because he enjoys yelling at people.
Where are they in the start list? Are they in these here? 39. I need numbers. What are they? Yeah, but I can't see their numbers. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, but these are probably in the same event. Okay, so what number we got there? 63.
So Olivia Wright sitting up the top of the track there. Indiana Plant rolling around with these.
That is that 67.
So Madison Smith leading them out there. Olivia Wright's going to come around the outside to try and get into second place. The other 2 girls are going to fight it out for third. So there we go through now. Quite a comfortable win there by Madison Smith. So that's Olivia Wright followed through by Indiana Plant. Was it?
Thank you.
Okay, moving right along now, we have our mystery points race. Now there are points on every lap. Only no one knows how many points are on each lap. You'll only know by having a look up at the scoreboard and see how many points are allocated to the rider. So there goes the whistle. Craig Wall at the front again. Joseph Cotton sitting there on his wheel. CJ swings up. Joseph Cotton goes to the front now. Craig drops back down onto his wheel. So there are points every lap. I know Cotton's going to take out the first lot of points. CJ going through there now. They're followed through by Elsie Vaughan. Pace is picking up. Cotton wants some more. Walter's trying to come around out the outside. It's a long way back, so Cotton goes through and gets some more. Ella Whitehouse moving up on the outside there too. Craig Wall sitting on the front at the moment. So remember, each lap has points. We just got to figure out who gets them as we come along, and that will be Craig Wall will take that one out. Savannah Walker's going up the top, around the outside. Wanted some points then, missed out. Going to try from this time, but that's not going to happen. Cotton's on the woes. Was there now? Let's see. Savannah Walker's still sitting there, but no. Ella Whitehouse taking those points. Joseph Cotton going back to the front again. Whitehouse trying to go with him. So Cotton come around this time to take these. Whitehouse has just got to sit the wheel. Hope she can follow that through. And there we go, is Elsie Vaughan trying to get across and bridge that gap. Get to the wheel and sit there for a little bit. They'll come around this time and get the call of 4 to go. Cotton still leading it out. Whitehouse sitting on the wheel. Joseph Cotton's had enough. Oh, yeah, just watch that. But Elsie doesn't want to turn at the front. So she gets Cotton back on the front again. Last time she did a lap at the front. And Joseph took the lead and then rode away from her. So let's see what he does this time. So Elsie Vaughan just sitting off the back there, still trying to get through. So Cotton swings up. Whitehouse does a half a lap, then swings up. Cotton comes through again to come around this time to get the call of 2 to go. So we've got Joseph Cotton on 22 points. Whoops, it's gone again. Doesn't sit there for long. No, 26. Ella Whitehouse on 10. And Craig Wall on 9. So indicating the final lap, Cotton still sit on front, Whitehouse behind. Vaughan still trying to bridge that gap. She has dropped a little bit. Now let's see what's happening over the back. Cotton is not riding away from Whitehouse. Does Whitehouse have anything left? No, she's quite content just to follow through there like that. That'll give Ella Whitehouse will be second overall in the points. Craig Wall will get third in the points. But the third rider over the line then was Ella Vaughan. Elsie Vaughan, sorry.
I've got an Ella in there and an Elsie. Which one? Elise Vaughan. Good movie. Look at the little black spot on the face. It's a blue one.
Okay, we have another mystery points race. 10 lapper. So once again, we don't know which lap, what points are worth, or if there's points or if there's not points. Okay, there goes the whistle. It means the event has started. They'll come around this time and get the call of 10 to go. Once again, Clayton Ives sitting right off the back. These juniors at the front are really wanting to get this one rolling along. Olivia Urry really got the things happening there. Get things moving. You can see Jared Whittaker on that bike of his moving his way through the pack. He's trying to get up the front to be a bit competitive with these riders, but there you go. Not on my book.
62. 62. That's what I was wondering.
Not in my book. Okay, got some riders coming around here now. There's a few riders here that aren't in the program that I have. So that leads through that time by Lachlan Chamberlain, staying out in the front there. Few riders sitting at the back. No one wanting to go through and chase him. There he goes down there. More points now. Let's see if Kevin Tran wants to go and chase. No, not this time. Jared Whitty's going to go through. Richard Watson sitting up on his wheel. It's a little bit of a jar there. Kevin Tran decided he wants to get onto the wheel. So Lachlan's still going through and taking the points. Jared Whittaker now trying to get that across that gap. And he's taken Kevin Tran and Richard Watson with him. I'll see who that rider is there. Fourth rider in that second group. So there we go. Lachlan rolled over again. Jared Whittaker coming through there. So a couple of the juniors now going to try and get across to this second group. The rider will come through this time around. And he gets the call of 2 to go, so still holding out there for the points. So Lachlan Chamberlain, 2 to go this time around. Jared Whittaker still at the front trying to do all the work there. And I've got a funny feeling you'll see Tran, there he goes. I thought Kevin Tran wasn't going to sit back there all that time. He's going to come through now. Lachlan will come through and get these points on this one. Tran's chased him down. He'll go around him. Richard Watson coming through to also do a chase to see if he can get some points. So Tran coming around the outside. He's coming around now. He'll come through to take out the first of these, first place in this sprint, in this particular sprint. Yeah, and he's followed through then by Lachlan Chamberlain, then Richard Watson. So we just wait for the points to be tallied up. We can't allocate them up here. We don't know what they are. I suppose if we didn't, wouldn't be a mystery, would it? So we just see the scoreboard flicked up there once. I didn't quite catch it. So we've got Lachlan Chamberlain on 30 points. Oliver Uri on 10, I think it was. And Michaela Gibbs on 8. So there you go. That's your 3 placings on that one. So we have another mystery points race here. 15 laps. Points every lap, allocated randomly. I don't know who randomly allocates random points. So Chris Lang there at the front. The whistle goes, everything's on. George Tucker sitting out there. He'll come in to make sure he gets into third wheel, gets himself in a good place. I think it was Courtney McGowan on his wheel. Going around there, and if I look back through the field, Eden Seeley-Cunnington there as well. Coming through around the outside. Lockie Cameron wants to get across to those front riders. There's Chris Lang taking out the points then. Cameron trying to bridge that gap. Fair way to go. Chris Lang still sitting on the front. No one challenging for any of those points. Courtney McGowan still sitting, happily sitting there on the wheel. Tucker coming around the outside now. He's followed through there by Chamberlain. He's Chamberlain, isn't it? 26. Sorry, not Chamberlain, Cameron. Lockie Cameron. But his legs have run out of juice. So Tucker's out the front now. Good name from Rockhampton, isn't it? Sadly, Reggie passed away just a few months ago, so that wasn't much good. But anyhow, George Tucker out there now. He's going on with it. Megan Moore's trying to bridge that gap down. April Paddy in there trying to get a mix in amongst the mix of things too. So Gary Morgan's off the back. Tucker's still going. Okay, so here we go now. We've got Oliver Jordan, Felix Crossman chasing Tucker. Let's see what happens. The rest of the field is in a bit of a mix-up now, not knowing what to do. Still with 8 laps left to travel. Jordan taking Crossman across. Then a gap. Another 3 riders. Let's see what happens out here when they catch Tucker, if they all decide just to back off a little bit and work. Still got a few laps left to go, so Tucker sees them coming, swings up. Jordan goes through to the lead, followed through by Crossman. Tucker drops back down onto the wheel. That's Joey Black coming across. They'll come through this time around. There we go, there it is. Jordan gets the points. Liam Vaughan just getting up to the back of these riders now. Coming around just about ready to lap some of the riders. They come in this time and get the call of 5 to go. So Felix Crossman takes over. Still at the front, I mean. He's got a gap. He's gapped Tucker. So Crossman is going to be out on his own. The other riders aren't going to get across that gap. Felix will come around this time and get the call of 4 to go. Okay, the other riders at the back, sitting up on the tops of their bars. Oh, Tucker's having another little bit of a hit, but they've left it a bit late. This rider comes through this time and gets the call of 3 to go. So that's only 3 laps left for Crossman. Tucker's at the front. Oh, so see what happens here, out of the saddle. Did you say that was? So Liam Vaughan there, can see Felix out the front. He's closing the gap down pretty quick, working very hard. Jordan's still back in there as well, gets the bell this time to go. So that's what Liam Vaughan can do there now. Jordan's out after him. They're all held up. Jordan's coming around. He will be able to get there. He'll get to Crossman. Crossman's got nothing left. He's spent all his pennies. So there we go now. Yes. So Jordan will take that last sprint out there on that one. Where's that in the program? Oh, yeah. Oh. Been 15, yeah. This one will be a bit quicker, probably. So now we have another 15 lap points race. Mystery points race. We still don't know what these ones are. Madison Taylor leading them out across the line there, followed through by William Holzberger. A few of these riders getting around. Chris Weir sitting there at the back of the race. You've got Jay Doraboom in the middle. A lot of riders who can get in there and mix it up. So Zachary Douglas Savage just sitting there on the front. Joey Black there in the middle of the bunch. I'm sure he'd like to have a go at breaking away from this group. capable of doing it, but there's also a lot of riders that are capable of chasing him down. Lockie Walters sitting there, second wheel again behind Douglas Savage. Dora Boom making a move up around the outside. Savage holding him out. Dora Boom coming over the top. He's going for it. Nelson Andrade's going with him. Nelson Andrade's going to try and go over the top of him, actually. So Jay Doraboom's still there. Lockie Walters coming through now. Doraboom swings up. Walters takes over. Coming around through the back. Lockie Walters, he's got the pressure on. You can tell his paddling action just changed. He's put the pedal on. He wants this sprint. So now he goes up. Oh, Joey Black only done a very, very short turn. I thought he might like to have a bit of a crack. But he's swinging right up to the top. We'll come around this time. So Sterling Jarnell took the points there. Matty Taylor's ridden out there now. Jay Doraboom on the wheel. There's points all over the place in this event so far, which is good to see. So Madison Taylor coming through to get some points. We've got to see what Thomas Waits can do. We haven't seen him have a go yet. I know he's dying to have a go. Doraboom still on the front. Is anyone going to challenge him? Can anyone challenge him? Oh, Doraboom will just get that from Thomas Waits. So Thomas Waits, I was waiting for him to make a move. Here he goes now. He'll go through with the call of 6 to go. Lockie Walters. Tried the cheeky little move. So then he drops back onto the back again. So Thomas Waits sitting at the front. Douglas Savage decided he wants to get across that gap, be part of the action. So Sterling Jarnell has joined those riders there at the front. Let's see Walters come around here again. So Walters took those points, sprinted past the lapped rider. Could have done it without that, but anyhow, through there, through to the front. Sterling Jarnell now at the front to see if he can get us a turn of points. But Douglas Savage says, no, I'd like to get some points, and just got there. So he'll do that, swing up. So Thomas Waits decided he wants some points this time around. There he goes, he gets them, followed through by Walters, then Douglas Savage. Sterling Jarnell's had enough, he's out the back, not by choice. Come through to get the bell this time. There goes Lockie Walters around the outside of Waits. Douglas Savage puts the head down. He's had enough for today, or for this event anyhow. So Lockie Walters leading at the front. Savage sitting on his wheel. He can't do much about it. He just has to sit there and make his way home. Okay, thank you for that. All done. Okay, yep, we're going to do a bit of motor racing now. So we've got a few Keirins to go through. So this will be a bit of an exciting event. There's Keirin coming through there now. Sebastian Topping, Alexander McCaig, Mitchell Louis, Ryan Elliott, Byron Davis. I would assume they're starting from the fence, judging by the position of the starter, Mr. Tony Tor. Family affair there. Alicia Tor, one of our commissaires here as well today, down in the centre. Used to race herself as a junior. Actually, she used to buy me lollies years ago. Long story to that, but she bought me a packet of Fantails one night. So here we go, we're lined up on the fence now. Topping set there through at the front. Other riders I have no idea because they all got the same coloured skin suits on. So there we go. That's Mitchell Topping to lead it out.
Where's the start?
So we're coming through now. Topping leading them through. And followed through there by Ryan Elliott on second wheel. Then McQuaig rolling through there now. Byron Davis coming in there now. Mitchell Louis sitting at the back of this group. They're coming around now. The motorbike will come off there. Justin Topping swings up, handed over to Ryan Elliott. McQuaig sitting through there now. Byron Davis sitting at the back. Mitchell Louis there. Topping now at the back. Ryan Elliott sitting at the front. Byron Davis moving up to take through to the lead. They come around this time and still get the call of 2 to go. There he goes. Byron Davis is going out there now. Mitchell Louis at the back. Ryan Elliott has a quick look down. Justin Topping have a look down too. McQuaig's getting caught in there. Mitchell Louis coming around the outside. Ryan Elliott will need to crank it up now. There he goes. Byron still leading through the front. Ryan Elliott second wheel. Now it's Elliott out after Byron Davis. Byron Davis holding on. McQuaig coming in under the bottom of Mitchell Louis to come in for third place. And we have a look there now. Whoa, there you go again. You boys keep doing that all the time. It makes for exciting racing, doesn't it? And I think you'll find McQuaig might have come through to pick up third place on that one. So we'll just wait for the judges. Will give us all the okay on that, I assume, at some stage.
What's the next one?
It's all based on that listing.
Yeah.
Elliot Davies.
Yep, picked it again. Elliott, Davis, McQuaig. So that's the way they finished. But a very, very tight finish. We like the tight finishes like that. It makes things exciting.
was. Yeah, Danica Blinko, Adam Cork, Sophie Watts. So we've got, what have we got? We've got 79. 79 is Cork, Adam Cork. Yeah. Adam Clark. Yeah, he's two. What's another one? No? Yep, I can't see the names. I don't know the numbers. All right.
It's not up there, I can't tell you.
Well, that's why I didn't know the blue one. Yeah.
Here.
Sophie Watts. What's 79? It's Adam Clark, you said.
Is it going, it's number 6, it's actually 6, 7, 8, 9. So number 6 is Tomo. 7 is Adam Clark.
What's her number? 79. 82 is. What's the next one? 73 is Emma. What are their names? Oh, right. What's 77? We've got it up here. Okay, 76 is Graham Chan. Who else is up here? Emma Stevens, I can see. See, if these people here had any interest in sport whatsoever, they'd be on their radio maybe and telling you who's start. '73 is Emma.
Okay, we've got our next heat up there running, still trying to figure this out. The riders out there, I'm not getting any information up here, sort of running a bit blind, but it looks like it's Emma Stevens leading them through at the moment, followed by Danica Blinko. We do have Adam Clark out there, I think. Yes, in black. Grant Sean coming through there as well. Molly McGill riding around there.
And who's the other rider?
And then Sophie Watts bringing up the back of the field. Motorbike coming around now. You can hear it picking up a little bit of pace. It'll swing off at this time to go. Still got Emma Stevens sitting on the front. Danica Blinko coming up the back. Quan Chorn there. Adam Clark coming up around the outside. Molly McGill still sitting down at the back. Clark moving up. Emma sitting at the front watching. Danica Blinko moving up as well. They'll come around this time. They'll get the call of 2 to go. So pace still not really on. Danica Blinko hit the front now. Adam Clark on the inside. On the outside. Oh, a little bit caught napping there. Didn't hear the rider coming through from the back now as they come through to get the bell. It's Molly McGill. She's taken off. Clark's trying to chase her down. They come through down. I don't think they're going to get to Molly. She's going to hold it out. It'll be an interest to see if Clark can hold on for second. And they go through there now. He will, and Emma Stevens will come through to take out third place in that one.
What's the next one? Big 3. Oh, I have to get a crank handle?
No, you're right. It's
Oh,
good.
I could crank it up.
Just, yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's like you're still listening.
But that's playing through here.
Oh, they're coming around this time now. The call of 5 to go. Wallace quite happy just to sit there on the bike. So Simon Wallace bringing there, Ella Liang in there, Mullins.
Is that there?
Lauren Perry sitting there, second last wheel.
That's William Emilus. He's changed helmets. Little bugger.
Bit of a trick on me there. I think William Amulus has changed helmets. So I'm not too sure who he is. Rider coming in this time. The driver, the motorcycle coming off. Wilson's still sitting on the front. William Amulus sitting there in second wheel. Mullins on his wheel. Then we have Bella Liang, Lauren Perry moving up around the outside. Clinda Robinson following her through. Lauren Perry now has hit the front. Clinda Robinson going with them. Simon Wallace trying to get in there as well. Ella Liang out of the saddle, down around the outside. Perry still leading it out. Robinson on the outside. Wallace still boxed in down the bottom. Nowhere to go. Ella Liang up out of the saddle now. Clinda Robinson's hit the lead. Lauren Perry's just holding her out. And she is going to hold her there. They come around this time to get the bell. Lauren Perry down the bottom. Chris Mullins coming flying around the outside. They're coming through now. Lauren Perry still holding it out. Mullins coming around the outside. William Emulus trying to come from the back, but he's not going to get there. He's going to come through this time. Mullo's going to take that out. Followed through then by Clinda Robinson. And most probably up the top would have been... I was trying to figure out the colour of the helmet. Might have even been Wallace, might have come back up in there to kick in for third. So let's just see what the judges say.
Yep, I got it right. This is good, eh?
Yep, picked it. That was it. Christopher Mullins, Clinda Robinson, and Simon Wallace taking out the three placings there, but very close, very challenging, and that's what the riders want. You want to be challenged. You want to be pushed to your limit. That's the way you improve. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. But here we go. We've got a new lineup of riders on the fence. Okay, the riders coming around this time, led through by Benjamin Wood. Josh Bletchfield coming in second place. Sandra Stoy out there first. Wood. Liliana McLennan all just rolling around this time. Riders can take the motorbike, leave the motorbike now once the first lap has been completed, but Benjamin Wood quite happy to sit on that. It's Josh Bletchfield. Caleb. Caleb Bletchfield quite happy to sit there on the in second wheel. Josh Nixon now having a look. Woods looking over the shoulder. Ren Lee coming up around the outside. Liliana McLennan sort of caught in the box in the middle there. They'll come around this time. Still 2 laps to travel. Plenty of time to work themselves out. Wood down the bottom. Bletchfield in the centre. Dixon up the top. Ren Lee coming around the outside. Liliana McLennan getting a look in there. She wants a wheel to follow. She doesn't want to have to break the wind out there. And she's not a good wheel to sit on if she does get out there. But she does. She's gone. Liliana McLennan's in there. First one to get the bell. She's being chased down now. Bletchfield up around the outside. Dixon having a go. Sandra Storer in there. Also having a go. Trying to see if they can hold it out. Bletchfield round the top. Sandra holding it on the bottom. Liliana McLennan's going to hold it out there. Sandra Stoy is just not... Oh, she held on. Sandra held on for second. Caleb Bletchfield up around the outside. So that once again was another well-fought event. Remember, these riders are seated here like this on their 200 times, and as I said earlier, if their 200 times are pretty close, this is what it's going to be like, because their speed is governed for the first 3 laps. It's after that that the race really starts. But okay. So we're ready for our next lot of riders to come around now. First rider is Anthony Lane. They're all left now. Okay, let's have a look. What, 78? Okay, rolling around now for the next one. We've got Anthony Lane sitting there on the bike. Adelaide followed through there by, then followed through by Keisha Smalley. No, Keisha Smalley's a bit further back, so they're not in the start list there. It's like Indiana Plant. Madison Smith. So Anthony Lane coming through. Indiana Plant on the wheel there. I'll come around this time, still get the call of 3 to go, so the motorbike will come off. Madison Smith moving up around the outside now, wanting to get up near the front. Anthony Lane having a quick look over his shoulder. Indiana Plant having a bit of a look around there. not wanting these riders to get away. Anthony Lanes knows that these junior gearings and smaller gearings are going to be a bit hard for him to match. He'll have a big gear on. You can bet on that. Adelaide just watching them roll around there through. The other girls are watching each other. Madison Smith up out the top there now. Lana Lake decided she wanted, went up a little bit high there. Smith's going to come in underneath. I'll get the bell this time to go. So Lane will start cranking that big gear up. Lana Lake around the outside, but Madison's too strong there. She's holding her out. She's not strong enough to get around Anthony Lane. Strong enough to hold out Lana Lake though. So we go through that one. Lane will take that out. Followed through by Madison and then Alana rounding it off. And Keisha Smalley coming in there for 4th place.
What's after that? Team switch. You need to go with what? Would you mind going? Oh. Now you're teasing me. It's 5 o'clock.
Okay, now moving on to an exciting event. A teams scratch race. So we have teams of 2 or 2 to a team, depending which way you want to look at it. Mathematically works out the same. But the first rider will go out, must ride a minimum of 10 laps.
There's on a toilet break. You can roll them off.
How come Tony gets a toilet break?
Can't hear your radio. Just roll them off.
So not sure if you heard that, Mr. Ham. So let's see what we have out here. We have a team scratch race. Now, according to the information I have here in front of me, we have looks like 14 teams out here at the moment.
And there's 2 of them. 18, 19. Is there 17 teams?
So we've got 14 teams out here, which means 28 riders. But you will only have 14 riders on the track at a time. Now, not too sure how they work this, if it's anything like another kinds of teams events where you swap over. The other rider shall circulate, ready for the change. But we'll see what happens. They might just sing out, go! You never know. So the first rider must ride a minimum of 10 laps. And they must change before they get to 20, or when they get to 20. So there we go. We've got our first group of riders coming around now. We have no idea who they're going to be. It's all right, some of these people don't know who they are either, so that all goes well. I'll do the best I can. I do know Craig Wall's out there. Adelaide's out there and she just raced. See, she's not in the program. Number 62. Michaela Gibbs. Okay, there we go. They've started. Joseph Cotton's hit the front. So he's going to take away to start this event now. As I said, this front group of riders here must do a minimum of 10 laps, maximum of 20. So just see how they go at passing this around. It's Oliver Urry. Ollie Urry. I don't know where the other one is. I think there's two brothers used to race in that family. But there's Ollie Urry leading him around now. Quite happy just to roll through and do some turns. And then following on his wheel is Michaela Gibbs. Is it number 50? Yeah. Oh, we won't worry about her then. So Ollie Urry still sitting there on the front. Michaela Gibbs, Lilia, Joseph Cotton, Craig Wall, Richard Watson, Jared Whittaker. Everyone's just rolling now. It's a bit of a procession. So we've got a couple of spare riders over the back, a couple of spare riders over the front. No one's really willing to do anything throughout here.
That's probably better off skipping. Where's the start with? If I call out a name, then I can just go, boom, name. So better off to be on this page. If I can get a name, a number you can get a name.
Okay, the pace is picked up now. It looks like Michaela Gibbs has decided to give it a bit of a hit out. Joseph Cotton's gone there. See who chases him down now. Joseph Cotton's
infield that's supposed to be on the track.
hit the front.
Bike on the red bike is second last. He's going to do the whole lot. He's only a rider by himself.
Michaela Gibbs. Okay, there's a change come in. Let's see how this works. Michaela Gibbs swings up. Joseph Cotton goes through. Ollie Urry comes around there through. He's in there too. Lajana comes through. Richard Watson, Jared Whittaker, all going through. So Craig Wall's there.
That can't be right.
So I don't know how they're working out these changes. I've seen a rider just drop off the fence. I don't know where they are at, but we've come in at... We've got 21 to go, so riders can start changing after the next one. Craig Wall slowing down, so maybe his partner has come in.
Who was his partner? 51. Craig Wall's 52. Number 38.
Okay, there's Jared Whittaker having been given a hit out. He hasn't done a swap yet. Craig's down the bottom, so has number
58? No, Craig Wall.
So a bit hard to keep track of this as to who has or hasn't swapped, but they all know who they are. We'll just worry about who's left at the last 5 laps, and we can carry on from there. Because at the moment I can see Jared Whittaker's out there, Joseph Cotton, Richard Watson. They look like that's the front group. They possibly are. So you got Jared Whittaker, Joseph Cotton, Richard Watson, Ella Whitehouse, and Liliala McLennan. That seems like as though that's the front group. I'll just wait and get confirmation if at some stage I'll probably see Mr. Tony Tor point towards the front group. Yep. Yep, I had that. So they're the front group riding around through there. We've got 2 riders trying to get across there to catch up with that group. And Lachlan Chamberlain there. They've swung up the track. They were working towards that. Gives Lockie a chance to get across to them. Jared Whittaker and Richard Watson are blowing up, or maybe they've swapped. At some stage, we should finish with the same amount of riders we started with. So now we've got Clayton Ive out on the track. I assume he was a partner with someone at some stage. So that was Richard Watson's partner. So Richard's out, Clayton's in. And Clayton's actually not a bad enduro rider, and he'll get that bike wound up. He gets a bit of rock and rolling happening, but he'll get there. So where the leader is. So it looks like the front group are on the track. So we've got riders over there that look like they know they're in the lead. They think they're in the lead. Coming around this time. Yeah, it looks like they are. So it could have been Gratian Punch that was in the front there then. Or maybe it's Ewan Holzberger. I'm not too sure which way it went, but it's going to be something like that. So Coulsby, Holzberger, Punch. So if Liliana's all part of that, we'll see what happens. Clayton Ive at the back here working like he wants to improve ground. They're coming through this time, still at the call of 10 to go. So you've still got Ewan Holzberger leading them through there now. And Gratian Punch is still sitting there with them. Liliana McLennan is in there as well. 8 to go, so Ewan's just sitting at the front there. I'm not too sure why he'd want to continually do that. But Lachlan Chamberlain decides he wants to go a little bit harder. He's going to ride away from this crew and see if he can hold it. We'll come around this time and get the call of 7 to go. So let's see what he's like at a 2,000 metre pursuit. He's about to find out how much they hurt. But I wouldn't mind betting within the next couple of laps, Kevin Tran will come out of that back bunch and try and bring him back. That's what he'd be thinking about doing. Whether he still has the legs after doing it several times, we don't know. Gratian Punch not really getting the benefit of draft. He's sitting up and out a little bit. Call of 5 to go this time. 1,250 metres. Doesn't sound long when you say it's 1,250 metres, not 1.25 kilometres. Okay, McLennan says she's had enough. I'm going. Let's see if Tran goes as well. Here he's. Oh, yep. There we go. We'll be right. Honky dory. All's good. Swallow your breakfast again. You'll be fine. Yes, I thought Kevin Tran would go if someone went. So the gap being closed down there very quickly. Man over there needs a new pair of necks. Here we go. He had a look back. He knows they're coming. So Lachlan Chambers swings up. McLennan comes in underneath. Kevin Tran has bridged that gap. So those are your 3 leaders sitting over there. So Liliana McLennan's been on the front for a bit of a lap. She did the chase down. So she's picking the pace up a little bit. We've got the bell there that time to go. Kevin Tran's going to look for a bit of a way around. Liliana swings up the track. Kevin Tran coming around the outside. Can McLennan hold him out? There's a bit of a gap there between it. McLennan is holding him out. Kevin Tran should be able to just have enough to roll the top. Yes, he does. Kevin Tran, take it out. Liliana McLennan will go through for second there for that one. And Lachlan Chamberlain, good ride in 3rd place. I think. No, it's all right. I got it. Okay, now we've got another one of these. We'll see what happens this time out. I think there'll be a lot of riders out amongst this mob that want to go really quick. But none of our big boys are playing, the sprinters. Not that I can see from here anyhow. See it. I could see the jacket. I just thought the jacket was over the back of a chair or something. Okay, next lot of riders getting to come up there now. There's a whistle to start them off. They're rolling around. Chris Lang sitting in there, Madison Taylor, Courtney McGowan. A few of the riders there. Number 26, see if he comes around. What's his name? He's Lockie Cameron, yeah. Lockie Cameron, Chris Weir sitting down at the back. Now a rider up the front decided he's going to take off. Looks like could be Joey Black. I'll wait and see. Madison Taylor sitting there at the front of the group. Chris Lang on her wheel. Yes, Joe Black having a hit out. Madison Taylor, Chris Lang, and followed through then by Courtney McGowan, Douglas Savage. Riders are picking up the pace. Black still quite content just to sit on the front and roll through. Swings up now, hands it over to Taylor. Chris Lang coming through there now. Savage coming through there now to do his turn at the front and see what he does with them. Zach quite happy to sit there. He's doing a bit of a big turn. Madison Taylor doesn't want to see a gap open up. Douglas Savage swings up through to the front. So Sean Crossman going up the front. Douglas Savage coming through again. He's hitting this hard. So Maddie Taylor's still sitting there. She wants to be part of this as well. And Sean Crossman's been there. Chris Lang swings up, hangs over to McGowan. I don't think McGowan wants to play. She's looking around saying, what am I going to do here at the front? This is a strange area for me. No, she'll go through. Swings up. Nicholas Smith swings up, hang over to Chris Lang. He swings up. So Douglas Savage at the front now. Sean Crossman, Maddie Taylor. Joey Black trying to lead the back bunch. Courtney McCowan on his wheel. George Tucker coming through there now. Lockie Chamberlain in amongst that group as well. So you've got three groups on the track at the moment. The front three, if they just keep working together, they can hold that. They don't get overexcited and try and win it in the first 15 laps. Just seen a rider come off the fence on the other side, so that means someone's going to make a change. Now Tucker's taken off. That's Adrian Lolano coming in now. He's tagged with Chris Lang. Sorry, not Adrian, Nelson Adrano. So a few riders getting to tap. Oh, Tucker's got a big gap on this field. He's flying. Joey Black's going to try and chase him down. Chris Weir's involved in that as well. He wants to try and bring him back. Nicholas Smith hitting the front now. Weir on his wheel. Jay Doraboom's coming flying through the pack. Watch out, he's going to go past some of these places. He's going to suck their jerseys off. Look at that, Doraboom flying through. See if Smith can chase him down. Who wants to go with him? Nobody said everybody. So Dora Booms likes to do this kind of thing. Actually a good road rider. Seen him race on the road, so he can hold his own out there. Smith has a look now and says that gap's getting very big. Weir's sitting on his wheel. Chamberlain out there as well, trying to have a bit of a look to see what's happening. So there's another change over there now. I think that's a bit hard. Can't see numbers. Only got one number on. I think it was Benjamin. Okay, riders are swapping over now. I see Adam Clark rolling around up this side. I know he's paired with Chris Weir, so they must be about to do a changeover. I don't know whether they've got to tag hands or what they have to do, or throw lollies, draw marbles, do something. But see what happens here now. So I think now with the lead now has been taken by Lockie Walters. But I think Jay Doraboom will still be at the front of the bunch. Chris Weir coming around now. He should have changed with Adam. I thought he was going to. So there they are. Adam's up the top of the track over the other side. Where he's going to change. Okay, so we got that there. Lockie Walters still at the front of that group.
Who's the Blackburn rider? He's only got one number on. You can't see his number.
I thought it was, yeah. Bit of a problem here. Okay, see what happens. According to the chief commissaire, the lead is down here, but I got a funny feeling. Anyhow, we'll see what happens. But just my thoughts. Because Jay Doraboom went flying past the whole field a little while ago. But coming around now.
Number 20.
So that's Liam Vaughan just sitting there at the front, rolling along. So let's see what happens. I still think it's, I still think it is Jay. See what happens anyhow. Here we go. So Gary Morgan's there at the front, just been caught up by the bunch. So that's Liam Vaughan still rolling through at the front there. So Liam Vaughan, Oliver Jordan just sitting there. Thomas Waite sitting on their wheel. They're all getting a big bunch there. So the front hasn't changed much. Sterling Jarnell moving up on the outside. They know they're getting close towards the finish of this event. Coming around, they'll get 3 to go next time around. So that's a kilometre left to travel. Liam Vaughan's still quite happy to be there, and he's pushed a little bit harder. Jordan there, Thomas Waite's there, Gary Morgan down the bottom of the track. Lockie Walters won't be too far away. You can see the pace picking up now, 2 to go. There goes Thomas Waite's now, and Lockie Walters right on his wheel. Sterling trying to go with them. Nelson Adrado up around the outside. He's going with these front leaders. They'll come through this time to get the bell. And there we go. Thomas Waite's leading them out. Lockie Walters Sterling Jordan and Nelson Adrado just bringing up the other reel there. Thomas Jordan trying to get across that gap. Lockie Walters accelerating around the outside of Thomas Waits. He's going to take this one out, but can Waits hold on? And can Jordan still... Oh, there we go. Thomas Waits comes in second place. Lockie Walters over the top. And that's how they'll finish that event. Sterling Jarnell managed to come in there for amongst those places, so we'll see what happens. Get a little bit confusing. Well, that was the final event here for the this afternoon's racing. I see if people are picking up and packing up and getting ready to go.
Is that
Yep. Okay, so our next AMV Track Series, which are including the 2025 Team Sprint and Team Pursuit Championships of Queensland, will be on Friday the 15th and Saturday the 16th of November. But coming up events, Friday the 4th of October, Cairns Track has their carnival. Townsville Cup on Wheels is Friday the 25th of October and Saturday the 26th. Mackay, Saturday the 2nd of November. We've got an AJTS round run in Adelaide on Saturday the 9th of November. AMV Track Series here on the 15th. Safe trip. Then off up to Bundaberg Cycling Spectacular, Friday and Saturday 22nd and 23rd. Then the back of the AMV Track Series back here, Friday the 29th and Sunday the 1st. What happened to Saturday? We lost it.
I don't know, but can we wrap up the live streamers and say let them go?
Okay. Okay, well, that's the end of this series. We'll just close off now and wait for the round 2 to come up. So wish you all a safe journey to respective homes, and we'll catch you at the next series. Thank you and goodbye.